back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my my
Hi, I'm Judith Light, and I'm here for my flu shot. Did you know there's an option for people 65 and older? Flu season is here, and people 65 and older need to ask about the vaccine made specifically for our age. Flu vaccination is especially important for people with chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. Visit the National Council on Aging at ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey, guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Sal.
Hey, everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is Fresh.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
What's up, Chicago? Oh, my gosh.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. I'm here. Yeah. How is everybody doing? How's everybody, man? I'm glad to be back. Just rough times and good times and a whole lot of things going on. But, man, we're here today. Got the fam. Everybody's here, man. I'm having everybody. It just feels weird today. But, yeah, it's just readjusting to the environment, I guess, and everything. Man, blessings out to Kay Alexi, man. I'm glad you walked away from your accident.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Yeah, that was
unbelievable.
Kay Alexi Shelby, did a gig in Chicago and then had a car crash coming home from it. It kind of flipped me out a little bit because it made me think about one of our other brothers, man, years ago that did a gig leaving. I think it was from a Navy Pier. Doing the gig and crashed and Lego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On the what is that? Lakeshore Drive. So yeah, it kind of broke me up, but I'm glad Kay Alexi walked away from that and all that good stuff. But moving forward, we got Rex Racer here. He's gonna be talking about his new track. So we're gonna get into a little conversation about that. We're going to talk about different things, I guess, that's happening in Chicago and the house and dance music scene and the world as well, man. So as usual, we always get into all types of things, and shame on us and shame on you for listening. But anyway, move forward. What's up, Ron? What you got for us on today?
Man, well, I just want to give a special shout out. Well, thank you, Rex, for coming to the show. You know, it's been a little while since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're back. Don't be a stranger, brother.
Oh, no doubt. I'm off on Sundays now, so yeah, you'll see me a lot more.
Your schedule is clear.
He'll be coming back more often with all those hot tracks he's putting out.
Well,
So.
that's another thing, and you know, I'm glad that you're here to debut with us.
Right on.
And I want to give a special shout out to one of my bosses that's sitting here from SMS Assist. Matt is in the studio with us, so thank you for joining us. And just having our family back. You know, it's been a while, and you know we missed you, Derek. And we got some special listeners tuning in from New York. Well, we got people all over the world watching us, but the fact that we got some special guests that are sharing our show in New York and I believe Bermuda, if I said that right.
Bermuda.
Yeah, sometimes the tongue gets tied and stuff like that. Then I'll be sounding like Waterboy, my mama. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just good to have the studio back in strength, full strength. And for all those that are just tuning in for the first time, we got some stuff coming up. Be prepared. Rob's working super diligently hard to get some new promotional stuff out there. If you haven't checked our website out, we'll put it up later, but definitely go out, we got apparel, t-shirts, hats. The summer is almost here. We don't have a spring in Chicago. For those that are not from here that don't know, we go from winter to summer with a little pre-prep. It's just a little bit of warm, hot. You know, so, you know, Al Roker should be the weatherman here versus New York. What's the weather like? Hot. What's the weather like? Cold. Rain. You know, so, Rob, what you got going on?
Well, like you said, man, I'm just really busy trying to keep up with everything. This is the time we try to get ready and prepared for spring, summer, and all these big events. And trying to keep us ahead of the game for everything. And like you said, we had a lot of promotions coming up, and I'm not afraid to say it, that I'm sure that all these other stations around here are going to start stealing that from us too. I mean, that's what they do. You know, they love taking our stuff, but that's why we are leading edge, you know, and we are number one in what we do, and we're going to keep doing it. You know, and I love it. I love the challenge to always try to keep us on top and ahead of the game. So, you know, as I've told you guys from day one, I'm always pushing to be leading edge. We're not followers, we're innovators. And that's what we do here with DaBooth312 and DaBooth Radio. So,
amen.
We're going to keep pushing that.
Well, imitation is flattery. So.
Well, it is. That's why I said I'm not mad.
You got to look at it like that. You know,
most definitely.
Well,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad by any means.
Bell
it just makes me
bottoms,
step
you know?
up my game. You know?
Everybody wore bell bottoms and stacks. So I mean, no, if only one guy and one girl wore that, how far would the trend go? You know, so
if guys start pulling their pants up, how
every
let's see how
station,
that goes.
every station is the number one station. So and I mean, I guess if you tell yourself that enough, you believe it. I mean, and I think you ingrain that into the public as well.
Well, you know,
Trump's trying to say, you know,
we're number one.
The coronavirus doesn't exist.
Well, I think what's going on right now, I think Rex is the trendsetter. I think we're all going to be walking around with masks like that pretty soon. So, you know.
I appreciate that.
We also want to give a special shout out to Dave C., our resident here, because not only is Dave C. part of the crew, but he's got other things going on. He's got his car currently in a car show right now that's going to be judged later on today. A 72 Chevelle. I saw the pictures yesterday. The car is hot. So
if you guys are heading out to Rosemont for the car show, you will get a chance to see Dave, because unfortunately he's got to cut out of the studio early. He's got to go pick up his baby and make sure he wins that grand prize. But you know, definitely much luck and much love to you, brother. Hopefully you win number one this year. Got number 3 yet last year. Hopefully he gets number 1 this year. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, you go down there, and if you guys are listening to the show while you drive in, make sure you stop and see him over by his 72 Chevelle and let him know that you heard right here that we sent you to go check out the show.
So we got a lot. We're all over the place. I mean, so what's been going on with you, Smoke? It's been too long.
Yeah, get us caught up, man.
Yes. I mean, I know you said
You got
Bree's
some new
doing
tracks
well.
out. You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Well, we prayed. We were
Thank you.
asking everybody to send prayers to you and Bree and your family.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Well, Dad is doing well, and I want to thank everybody for praying for my dad and all that. He's had his last round of chemo, so that was a big deal. So we're just kind of monitoring now to see if that's working out for him. Then my uncle then fell sick or is sick now, but he's getting better. I mean, he had to deal with some personal things as well that he's going through physically. So we're dealing with that. And, wife is hanging in there. She's working and doing her thing, but she's got surgeries coming up. So, I'm keeping her in the prayer, and then, as for me, in that time, just working, with, artists that have been coming in that needed to get recorded in the studio and stuff like that. So that kept me busy working with them and then trying to finish the new EP I'm working on. I got one more song and then I'll be done with that EP. And then we got a couple of singles coming out. We're doing a house music, I wouldn't call it a documentary. This is April 11th will be the final end of the debate as to who and where and what started house music in Chicago. We're going to end that argument. All the guys that played the role in creating the sound of house and dance music that originated here in Chicago will be at that table.
Marshall going to be there?
Yeah, Marshall's going to be there. And we're going to work on that and sign a declaration at the end of it all stating that this is how the sound started, this is who did what, and this is when it happened. And it's not open to the public, unfortunately, because we don't need those distractions. It's kind of like Congress going into session at this point because it's so many conflicting documentaries and opinions on what was the first house song, what was the first house track, who said this, who said that. But it's going to progress into the 80s era, the 90s, and current. We're already talking with, people like David Guetta and Calvin Harris and a lot of the people for the future thing. And we're gonna, involve some of the up and coming DJs as well. But it's gonna be a docu-series, I guess, just what they're gonna do. The film artist on that, his name is Michael. I can never say his last name. So Michael, forgive me, but he's a 2-time Emmy Award winner.
Okay.
So and he did a lot of stuff for The Wiz and a lot of other big presentations. He's done the Rolling Stones. He's done Sting. I mean, he's done so many different things. So he's going to be doing this thing for us, and I'm excited, And I think he's doing a regular series on Netflix as well for some other group, and I think they're going into their 5th or 6th season. So that's it, man, and just hoping that the songs bang. I'm hoping that, the whole virus thing, that's going on, the whole corona thing calms down, a little bit, and everybody's just taking precautions and taking care of themselves. We know when the heat comes, the viruses typically drop.
That's not
typically
correct. That's not correct. and I heard the president say that. I just had to shake my head. It's the other way around. When the temperatures go up, viruses and diseases and germs thrive in heat.
Right.
When it gets colder,
they
die off. So if we were leaving from the summer going into the fall and the winter, then I could see the president saying, hey, it's getting ready. We're about to roll into winter and it's going to die off.
Concerts in Alaska then.
There we go.
Yeah, so
Music Alliance.
Outdoors.
There we go.
Right, because I see they canceled a lot of major festivals out of the country.
Not just festivals. They stopped they were in the final stages of making James Bond's movie. They cut that. They are talking about canceling the Summer Olympics in Japan. That's the talks because there's countries saying we're not going.
Right.
And if you get over a certain amount, it's not. I can't say this word. It's the competition, competitive.
Well, I know it was getting desperate because today, you know, I was listening on CNN, and of course, it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. I was kind of laughing when I was on the expressway, is because they were like, "Oh, yeah, we have, you know, so and so here from so and so airlines, and she's a stewardess. Oh, well, you guys need to fly. Don't be afraid to fly, because we need to get paid. We're taking all the risk, and you know, we're just going to make sure everybody's safe. We're not going to just have people on the plane that are not safe." So,
Oh, but by the way, before you step on the plane, you got to use hand sanitizer.
I mean, she did everything, but like, we need our jobs, you know. So, but I mean, she was going there, you know. She was going, but I mean, we laugh, but that's serious because that's happening. Nike shut down their business.
But if you look at an airplane, you're pressurized with pressurized recycled air. Now, I'm not trying to scare people.
No, that's the truth. And it takes one cough.
I got rid
not
of
even a cough.
sneeze.
Just being there.
Yeah.
Unless they're starting to put some kind of new filtration system in there or something.
And that would be a smart thing, because that's what we do. We have that in our home. So to fight virus, so you know,
smart filtration system,
right?
But then watch, we're going to pay for it in the long run.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah. But you know, but the funny thing is, I guess if you needed the leg room and you needed some place to sit, you just oh my God! And then,
or the person that's behind you, like that one guy that was rocking the chair, the lady, because she reclined her chair back. Now all she got to do is go. Now you got to get on the stop.
Get up to use the washroom and just wipe that seat.
Right.
You were sitting there, weren't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cough in your face?
But I mean, I must admit, you know, some of the trips and things that we had planned, and some of the conversations I had with certain people to play out, you know, out of state, I'm kind of pulled away from. We're going to cancel a couple of those trips, and I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the ones that we can road trip on, I'll do. You know, I'll drive.
Well, what happened with that 50 states, man? You're going to do a 50 state tour for 50? 50 or 50?
I wasn't planning on the Corona beer thing. I mean,
and Corona, I just heard this yesterday, saw it in the news, that when, because the government just changed it from Corona to the actual Crown 16, whatever it is. Corona, which is not from Mexico, it is from Germany. They have put a lawsuit against the United States for publicizing Corona, right? Because their sales, their stock has dropped. So,
oh my God, and I love that beer.
Well, we should sue them because
should I say that? Because they're not giving us any sponsorship money. But yeah, I love that. Those are my two favorite beers: MGD Live and Corona. That's all I ever drink.
Right. So Corona, if you're looking, I'll be your spokes guy.
Yeah.
Red mask and a Corona.
I mean, we'll do the whole black thing. I got my 40 of Corona. So whatever you need.
And a bucket of weed.
And a bucket of weed. Right. A bucket of weed. Right. So anyway, well, moving on, man. We got a couple of minutes on the clock, but yeah. So man, I want everybody to be safe. You know, we've been taking all our regular precautions.
They came in spraying everything.
I sprayed everything, wiped down our countertops, you know, our controls, and you know, me and my wife are practicing that. But you know, my side thing, like I can tell people don't know, you know, is I'm in preparedness and all that for FEMA. So now, you know, the information that FEMA funnels down to us and things like that, I'm just like, and that's something I always want to do, was help people. You know, I don't know if that'll ever pull me totally away from music. I've been doing music for 36 years.
You help people with your music.
Right.
The sound, people don't believe, and you see enough of this on social media, but people don't believe how much music can help you. You know, from the mood that you're in can determine the type of music you're listening to. And the fact that you play all these different genres and everything, trust me, D, you've been helping people for a long time with all the music you put out there. So regardless if you know it or not, you have been helping people.
And I appreciate. Thank you. Wait, Matt.
you better clean those tears, man.
Don't wipe your eyes yet, because I got kudos to give to you too. So don't wipe them.
Right. So I thank. Let me thank everybody. You know, from, you know, I'm happy. You know, for making it. You know, through iTunes, Pandora. I mean, Spotify. You know, just all over the place. And you know, my other news, I'll find, you know, get my final information, you know, June 1st for some other stuff that we had talked about earlier. So I won't say, but it's coming. But at the end of it, and working with a lot of great artists, working and doing remixes for a lot of great artists has been, that's been a huge blessing, and I appreciate that. But I've always been that physical, outdoorsy person, and I have to send much love to those men and women that get out there and do search and rescue and grab people, pull people, save people, and help people in that time. And I just want to do more than send out cases of water or food. I want to, get my hands dirty. And because I just think that's something we should do. I mean, that's what I want to do. But at the end of the day, I guess if as I save them, I could probably put a MP3 player on them and say, listen to my mix while we're digging out of this hole.
I want to send a quick shout out to anybody that had a loved one that was affected down in Nashville. Where the tornado hit. 2 F3s, if I'm not correct.
Drove right through it.
Drove right through it. So if you had a family member affected by the tornadoes down there, our hearts and prayers go out to you all out there, from us to you. And that was a tragedy. So,
all right, I'll let you know. You guys stick around right here for more to come. We have Rex Racer in the studio. We're going to be hearing his hottest track, Dance Storm, right now. It's hitting the charts and it's growing. You guys want to make sure you stick around right here for more to come on DaBooth312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and DaBoothRadio.com.
feet like this. Move your 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 feet like this.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to DaBooth312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
All right, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the sounds of the underground. Man, we're gonna get right into the mix. I shouldn't say the mix because he's not gonna mix today. So
Unfortunately,
So
normally we would.
We're gonna. Well, yeah, I guess it is a mix. So we're gonna get into the mix of his new track, and I guess find out what's been going on with him. So without further ado, we're gonna bring up Rex Racer on the microphone. Don't be intimidated by the mask. It's not a corona thing. It's just it's an image thing like Dead Mouse and who else wears it? Marshmallow,
and,
that kind of thing.
Yeah. So
come on, think of who's wearing masks before all of them.
Zorro.
Batman, Spider-Man.
Daft Punk was wearing a mask before all of them.
Yeah, that's for true.
So, you're just along those lines, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah.
One day the truth will come out. We'll find out who your man really
Well,
is.
you know what? They was a huge inspiration too behind that. So
you ain't lying.
You got the Yellowheads that wear it now too.
Yeah,
you never heard of
yeah.
them? Yellowheads wear.
Never heard of
masks.
Yellowheads.
Yeah, very big time.
Yeah.
European tech house
okay.
duo. So yeah. So Rex,
yes, sir.
the man, the myth, the legend. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Welcome back. You've been here before. You're not a stranger to the studio, the station, or the airwaves.
Right on.
So how you been?
I'm good, man. Working hard. Working this label thing hard. So I did make this huge transition to label owner. So Plain Face Music is doing its thing, and thanks to cats like Derek and Steve Poindexter and Rob and yourself, who's been nothing but inspirational on my journey. I've been making a lot of noise.
Man, yes, because you got your own festival too. You want to talk about that right quick?
Well, we are now on the level DJs, so it is still in Dalton. The only thing is the day changed to July 19th. We had to give that day up. Certain things happened and we lost it. However, we lose no steam. It's still the same. People, myself, Reverb Curb, DJ BT, DJ Dap, James Papa Rock, but we also added a new member. So we have Vanell Bird.
Oh, okay.
Who's now part of On the Level DJs.
All right. He was just on the show about a month ago.
Yeah, and this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year.
So did he get on with you guys because he was on the show? I'm just curious,
Well, we was kind of looking at him for a long time, and then we finally had an opportunity to reach out to him and let him know, hey, dude, come on and join the family.
Okay, so talk about what we're going to be playing today.
Well, Dance Storm is coming up, and actually the featured rapper on it is Uncle Hood, also known as MCD to those who are familiar with the hip house era. He came up with Fast Eddie and Sundance and Cool Rock and all those guys. And actually I met him through a project that he and I both were working on for Rocky Jones for DJ International. And it was Curtis McLean that actually got us, introduced to each other, because this whole project was so super secret, none of us knew who each other were.
Oh, wow.
And Curtis was like, man, I'm just going to go and introduce you to him, man. And it turned out, I
Great
had just
impression
done. That was Curtis on the spot.
All you needed was your Pepsi.
Right. And then, he hooked us up and we met, and it was like instant click. And we was talking about old days from back in the hip house era. And I was like, yo, wouldn't it be a good thing if we help try to bring hip house back to the forefront? Hip house was an era that, when we talk about house music, they talk about everything else except for that.
Okay.
And for me, and probably for many others, hip house was really instrumental in help keeping house music afloat during that time.
And it was especially with
out to
Tyrese.
Eddie?
Right.
You know what? To be truthful, I have, But my realistic feelings, I'm not expecting him to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really expecting him to say anything. But I am hoping he noticed. I have reached out to Tyree Cooper.
I was just about to ask.
I did. Me and Tyree talked, you know, here and there. I have had plenty conversations with Tyree, and Tyree gave us his blessings.
Is he going to be
Cool
something-
Rock's DJ is Homicide.
Okay.
I know him by his government name because, of course, he's from Gary, like I am. And when he and I talked, it was like, dude, you a lot, you doing your thing, you know. And so, you know, we got kudos from DJ Homicide as well. We will be working on a video this summer for Dance Storm, so I want all of you guys to cameo.
Okay.
I definitely want you in the video. So
Appreciate
stay
it.
posted with me in that, and then I'll let y'all know when that's dropping.
So, are you going to be doing something with Tyree?
We're talking about it.
Okay.
We're definitely talking about it. We've
There's
had
that
some
secret
long
again.
conversations. Yeah. So we're talking about that.
Okay. How about you and Derek? Y'all going to do something?
Oh man, Derek has been such a mentor to me. I've been trying to get my stuff so slated and set in stone before because this the kind of man, when you approach anybody at this kind of caliber, you don't want to come half-cocked. You know, you want to make sure
It's
your
full
stuff is
compliment.
right. Right. You want to make sure you come and you ready to rock and roll. But Derek has helped me through a lot of stuff. Even, you know, I consider myself a machine master till Derek came to the crib and was like, man, you ain't got half the stuff that you supposed to have. And then bang, I was like, holy man. I didn't know I had all that. So everything that I was doing at 50%. And then Derek unlocked the other 50% for me. And then again, like I said, I still got cats like Steve Poindexter, you know, and other cats that I idolize from the back in the day that has helped push. You know, that push is really well.
You know, and the nice thing too is when you mention about the cats from back in the day, those cats that you're talking about are not stuck back in the day. They're actually making new music.
Exactly. I knew that was coming.
And going forward on it. And you know, I'm always preaching that. It's the fact that we can't be stuck in a time warp. Nothing wrong with the old school music. You know,
let me share with you a story that the day that I met Steve Poindexter, I met him on Facebook first, and then met him personally through Derek. And I reached out to him. And I said, hey, Steve, I just need your input on something. You know, I'm trying to do this and that with my music, and I'm trying to, you know, get out there. And he said, well, who are you trying to get to listen to it? I said, anybody that'll listen. He said, welcome to the underground. And I never turned around since. I've never turned around since.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That's really what it's about. What are you trying to accomplish on this?
I mean, I know that feeling because to play in the station here in the studio, and when I do mix, the people like Derek I'll look over at and Rob, and if I don't see Derek moving his head, I'm like,
right. If you can't get a rock out of him, something wrong.
Even if he's looking at his phone,
you can't get this
I'm
man to
just
rock,
like,
something wrong.
You didn't like that track? What's up? Now Steve was at an event that I was playing at and gave me a kudo, and I'm like, for real? You know, so I know exactly where you're coming from.
Most humbling thing, I gave Steve a folder. Steve played overseas. I gave Steve a whole folder of my stuff. He said he played every track in it but one, and he said they went nuts after every song. And I said, you got to be kidding. He said, no, man. He said, whatever you're doing, keep doing.
Between Steve, Derek, and Chip E.
Oh, Chip's another one that
When
I've been
Chip-
talking to off and on.
Well, I just played with him last month, and that was my bucket list. Well, not bucket list, but DJ list.
Oh, yeah.
Of people.
I still got a few. A few.
Yeah. And for Chip E to say, man, I was just like, well, here you go. You know, but he was cool, you know, and so I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you're making these bigger moves. You're progressing in your career.
Yes, thank you.
Because as a DJ, we're constantly trying to get our name out there,
yeah.
be heard.
Yeah.
And you
don't want to be that one that you don't want to be associated as everybody else. You know, you just like everybody else. So, you know, it wasn't just the mass. I figured my sound had to stand out. You know, I had to figure my whole DJ swag had to change in order for things to work for me this time around because I had retired. I was done. I was through.
Well, I mean, playing next to you when we were at Derek's event at Sapphire.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I was like, okay, Rex here. Oh, okay. So, you know, because for those that have seen Rex and know about Rex, when he walks in the room with everything on, you can't just be like, oh, that's just some dude, right? Regular any other DJ come in, you're like, oh, okay, what's up? And you keep playing. But then he's setting up next to you, and you're like, he got this mask on. I'm like, the last time you had a black and white one on, now you got a red. It's
something different every time,
right?
yeah.
You know, so
It had to be clean, man.
he sent it to the cleaners. So getting it disinfected. But with that being said, let's get into your track. What are we about to listen to?
You're getting ready to listen to Dance Storm. It's a Rex Racer Uncle Hood collabo. So again, like I said, we're doing what we got to do to help house music go further into the next generation. The revamp, which really, not even a revamp, it's a reintroduction of hip house.
You know what's funny was when you were first mentioning it, I thought, first thing I thought of was Sandstorm. You know, when you said
Right.
Sandstorm, I'm thinking Sandstorm. But no, it's not. And it is really, really good. I think you guys are going to like it. Love it. Better go out and buy it.
Yes, sir.
When will it be out?
It's out. It's already
out now.
out. Yep. Okay. And it's everywhere.
Are we on
iTunes,
TrackSource?
TrackSource,
Okay.
Beatport, wherever you type it up, it's going to come up.
Okay. Right here on the booth. Let's get into it.
Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Get that liquid funk, house heads crown, original underground volume sound. A whirlwind, the vinyl spins around, tectonic mix, break, niggas pound. Extraordinary house sound, hip hop will party, world temple down. From the deepest club goers all around, light up the dance floor, global now, all facets different, music being fused. Dance Storm, floods the party shoes, arm, leg, arm, head, move. Body language, universal tools, our dance zones, the weatherman to choose. Body soaking wet, Mac fuse. Green light, dance battle crew. It's rain and party worlds, active boom. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Billboard charts, dance artists, Grammy nominated, right the hardest, cosmic earth link with the lyrics. Speaker drum, dumb, deaf to hear, volcanic beats, eruption of the streets, breaking ground, producing body, juke fest, manifest and move, house party, and I'm the king of them. Them old school, Jack take the dudes, them new school, Barbara too, American dance battle, light the rule, these lyrical news, sight to move the groove, your party animals bound to act the fool, tearing up the flow with dancers too, not jack their body hard, cause ain't no rules, house party mobs, never lose. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Party Storm, flood the streets, we want more spiritual moves, the grooves to change the form, more gym shoes are broken down and torn. Our ghetto child, jack the body, born to a party atmosphere. Global war, no house party mob. Sweating the norm, seeing lead lights, the crowds of people form. It's all of us, and none of us is born. Now house heads with hip hoppers knowing, turning up the stratosphere. Increase the joy, straight to the party. Ain't this the party? Lyrical rain to wet everybody. Those hurricanes that flow, that's my hobby. Break the changes, then rush the lobby. Lyrical thunder shaking everybody. It's a house party, it's a house party. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing, Hip Hop House Combination, Hip Hop House Combination. Dance Storm, Party Nation, Whirlwind, Vinyl Chasing.
All right, make sure you guys get Dance Storm. Right now, you can check it out. Google it, Dance Storm. You'll find it everywhere and anywhere. Make sure you guys show the love and spread it by paying for that track.
Yeah.
Stick around right here for more to come on DaBooth312, broadcast from WIT, 88.9 FM in Chicago, and DaBoothRadio.com.
Say it 10 times.
period is often referred to as the jazz age. But this term has little to do with music and much more to do with the fabulous and hodgepodge atmosphere of the 2020s. Regardless of the fact that its name is being used loosely, real jazz music flourishes in the bustling northern big city atmosphere of Chicago. Even in the world of music, the word jazz is used loosely. In the bustling northern big city atmosphere of Chicago, real jazz music flourishes. Chicago. The period is often referred to as the jazz age. But this term has little to do with music and much more to do with the fabulous Chicago, the capital city of jazz. Even in the world of music, the word jazz was used loosely. The period is often referred to as the jazz age. In Chicago's South Side. Chicago, the capital city of jazz. There could be no equivalent in the daytime outdoor marching band social life in the bustling northern big city atmosphere of Chicago. Atmosphere of Chicago. Atmosphere of Chicago. In Chicago's South Side.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
We're all part of your community.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe. So protect your every day.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new dawn. Yeah, it is a new day. Yeah, it is a new day.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Mario. lost in admiration. Could I need you this much? Oh, you're wasting my time. You're just wasting time. Something happens and I'm head over heels. I never find out till I'm head over heels. Something happens and I'm head over heels. I don't take my heart, don't break my heart, don't throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. I made a vow and watching it burn. Yeah, thought out your future. We've one foot in the past, now this time. Long will it last? Now. Have you no ambition? What's the matter with my mother and my brothers? Used to nothing ever changes when you're acting young and dreaming. I'm of nothing gets done. It's hard to be a man when there's a nothing ever changes when you're acting young and something happens and I'm head over heels. I never find out till I'm head over heels. Something happens and I'm head over heels. I don't take my heart, don't break my heart, don't throw it away.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Alvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Hey, it's Mike Aubrey, the real estate expert. I spend a lot of time driving through neighborhoods. Guess what I see? Lost, confused homeowners. There's one now, driving in circles.
Hey, pal, need some help? I've been looking for a better mortgage, but I'm not getting anywhere.
They're searching and searching for refinancing. But even though they are current on their payments, they just can't find a lower rate or better terms because they're underwater on their mortgages.
Talk about getting the runaround.
But there is one place to look if your mortgage is owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
Mike, can you get me out of here?
Come on, follow me. I've got the answer.
HARP. It's a government refinancing program that can save you money. See if you qualify at harp.gov.
Thanks, Mike. Now we're getting somewhere.
Harp.gov, your best route to a better mortgage.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
She wakes up early every morning just to do her hair now because she cares, y'all. Her day wouldn't be right without her makeup, never without makeup. She's just like you and me, but she's homeless. She's homeless. As she stands there singing for money. heaven, 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 heaven. We're in heaven. Go to heaven. Don't you wanna go to heaven? Everybody wanna meet. Everybody wants to we go. Don't you wanna go to heaven? Everybody wants the wings. Wanna walk that golden street. Heaven. Don't you wanna go to heaven? Everybody wants their wings. Wants their wings. Yeah. On the way to heaven. Don't you wanna go to heaven? Everybody wants their wings. Don't you wanna? Everybody wants their wings. Don't you wanna go to heaven? Don't you wanna go to heaven? Everybody wants their wings. Wants their wings. Yeah. Everybody wants their wings. Don't you wanna go to heaven?
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks again for tuning in with us at the Booth 312. If you're just tuning in right now, where the hell have you guys been? All right, so we had a great show today. We had Rex Racer in the house, and we were showcasing his hot track that's moving up on the charts, Dance Storm. That's right. We're taking back to the old school in the sense, and when I say old school, I only mean something that was started years ago. It's starting to make a comeback right now, and that's hip house. You know, today, day and age, a lot of our youth are listening to more hip hop. Not that hip hop was bad or anything in the bad, actually. I liked it better in the old days. But I don't know if it's just my age, but maybe it was actually that it really was better. But anyways, hip hop and house music combined, put together. Today's hip hop is actually, if you've noticed, they've tried to put a little bit of house music in the backbeat. Well, it already has been there before and been there and done that. It's called hip house. And Rex Racer is bringing that back. So you guys don't want to miss out. Please support and share that. Check out his track, Dance Storm, and be looking for that video because we'll be in it pretty soon coming up.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
So we have a great show. We actually had Derek Jones back in the studio for a while. Unfortunately, Derek had to bounce back out, just like Dave. But, you know, we had the whole family here in the house, and it was definitely a great show. You got to hear those wonderful mixes by yourself,
Thank you.
Ron Tinsley,
Hope everybody
and
enjoyed it.
Natrix. So it was a great feel on that, great vibe. Hopefully next time we get Rex Racer in here, he'll throw down as well because I love Rex's sets when he throws down.
Yeah.
You know, besides the fact that it covered in that mask and that whole feel behind him, he actually really brings a great sound and great feel to it. So, you know, I can't wait to have him back. Our guest that was in here, hiding in the shadows, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. You're always welcome back. And hopefully you enjoyed yourself sitting behind the scenes and see what really goes on. You know, you guys see what's on camera. Sometimes when Derek's in here, you get to see a little bit about the behind the scenes. But there is a lot to do to put together a show for you guys each and every week. And we do work very hard and diligently to bring you guys the best sounds of the underground. And it's not just the sound of music, but the whole show and the whole atmosphere. You know, so there is a full package with it. We do try to bring that to you guys.
I mean, there's a lot of other radio stations out there that, as Rob has mentioned before, and we've said in previous shows, that will take bits and pieces that they've seen us do, and next thing you know, they're incorporating. And that's great because we try to be the leader in trends of, you know, the community, you know, if possible. But it's a respectful gesture when you see another station. It would be nice if they hit us up, but, you know, just the fact that you see some of the things that we have done here at the show on other stations, you know, it just shows that, yeah, people are paying attention. We try to bring the best that we can, not just from our guests and the people we invite, but out of ourselves also. I mean, I love feedback. And if there's people out there that have listened to me and the other resident DJs here, how we play, please feel free to drop some comments in our chat room and just say, hey, let us know what you think, because that helps us. That helps us. We want to improve to be the best show out there each and every week.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'll be the first one to comment on everything for these guys. And they know it. I have no problem telling them. But you know what? It is criticism is a good thing. You know, it just really makes us look at ourselves and see if we're doing something wrong or if we can better ourselves in any way. So why not?
Exactly. Because it's just, we're going up. We're not going down. We're going up. We have the warmer weather is rolling in. And I hate to keep saying that, but I'm sorry. I'm trying not to think about it.
You know what I mean?
But we got the warmer weather that sticks with us. Hopefully this March won't be like last March and last April where we were getting the white stuff falling out the sky at late April going into May. But the way it's looking, if things keep amping up like it is, this is going to be a really good summer. It was a good summer last year. The year before was as good, but last year was better than that year. And with the festivals, like you mentioned, Rob, before, we got tons of festivals coming up. Rex has his. We got the Music Alliance Festival. We have a whole brothel of festivals, a kaleidoscope of festivals coming. And, it is just, and a lot of these festivals are purely house music. And that's the great thing about it. That's what Chicago's about. For those people that are watching that are out of state, out of the country, because we're seen worldwide, if you've never been to Chicago, I will implore you to get here in the summer. Don't come in the winter, because then you'll be cussing us out and talking about, I will never come back here again. We feel the same way. But in the summer, this place blows up. This place rocks. There is so many events to go to attend. Dave and I were talking on the phone during the week, and there's just festival after festival. You'll see the booth at Taco Tamale Fest. A few members from here will be at Taco Tamale Fest. You'll see a few members at some of the other big festivals. Hopefully more. Music Alliance Fest. Hopefully Rex Racer brings us on to his festival. It is just so much to do music-wise, house music-wise. And, other states have their things, but Chicago, and for people that challenge me, a lot of times I've had people say, I don't think Chicago's the birthplace of house music, or I didn't know that. I thought it started in New York. No, right here.
Yeah, I just wish that we did have the ample size type of festivals that you see all over the world, but not here. We don't really see it, and we come close with some of them. Don't get me wrong, but for those who really hit the major festivals all over the world, Croatia, Spain, they are huge compared to what we have. I will say that. I'll give them that.
Well, look at it like this, Rob. The magnitude of those festivals, because they don't have the smaller ones to attend. So when those folks get a chance to come together, they're all running to get there, and that's, I think that's what sets it apart. If the only festival in Chicago was the Chosen Few, let's use that for example. If that was the only festival, I think more people would be there, because, they would, we could get into a whole different other demographic conversation, but I think because there's so many, people pick and choose. Do I go to House of Soul, or do I go to Pilsen Fest? Do I go to Pilsen Fest, or do I go to Taco Tamale? Do I go to the Randolph Street
That's
festival?
why I was just trying to think of that one. Yeah.
Then you got Division Fest, and you got Mamby, and you got the Chicago House Music Festival. I mean, the list just keeps going and going, and it's getting longer and longer because there's more festivals. You got, like I said, Music Alliance Festival, our mutual good friend, I should dare say, but our mutual good friend John Goings with help me out here, Montrose Beach Bash. I mean, there's so many out there, and yet they're growing. There's other people bringing out festivals or rooftop parties. Rob had a chance to get with me and James Chesney and Triple Threat up on a rooftop and doing a rooftop party up there, and just there's just so much to do. So if you're looking for a place to come to, and I'm telling you, people are outside of Chicago, oh, the crime. You hear about crime in every major city. If you're at the right place at the right time, or if you are in numbers, I would say, and just pick and choose which places you're going to go to, But I think there's there's more events being added each year, and we'll try to announce them here on our show to let you know where to go. Just
try to keep up with DaBooth312.com. We put the events up there.
There you go.
Again, like Ron's saying, we have so many that are hitting us. We can't keep up with putting them up there in time. There's just so many. But we do try to get the information out there. And if you go to DaBooth312.com, we not only give the Chicago ones on that site, we also try to give all over the world. So as they send them to us and provide us with the information, On DaBooth312, we try to get that out to you guys. Here at DaBooth312, we focus on Chicago events. We will promote some of the more closer outlying areas of Chicago, so just outside Chicagoland area and Illinois. But our main goal, main focus is Chicago. With DaBooth312.com, you can get them from all over the world. So again, if you have a house music event, now mind you, DaBooth312.com is a house music radio station online. If you guys having any events, house music events in your areas and you want to promote them, send it to us, hit us up at reachus, REACHUS, at DaBooth, DABOOTH, radio.com. We'll be happy to promote those events because we, again, are about unity. We don't just talk about it. We actually show it and we live it. So go ahead, man. Anything else?
I'm going to swing, once we leave here, I'm going to swing over by Suave Sunday over at the Wise Owl and say hello and pay homage to our good friend Yvette. How about you there, Nate? Nate, what do you have?
I'm going to go to a cookout.
Okay. The weather's nice. If you didn't know, Chicago's sitting at 67 degrees right now. I can't wait to get out there and enjoy this weather. Rob, what do you got going on?
I'm going to bed.
I heard that. Well, yeah, it was a really good show. And like I said, for one of my managers from the company I work at, my day job, he had a chance to stop by, as Rob mentioned earlier. Thank you for coming by, Matt. Really appreciate it. And, you know, if there's some companies out there that are liking what we're doing, please, like Rob said, hit us up. If you're thinking about wanting to get some promotional spots on the show, we can do that. We're looking for sponsors. So with that, everybody have a great week. Please be safe. Please be health conscious out here with this virus that's spreading. Thank goodness the numbers have been low here in Chicago, but there's places like New York City that that officially went into a state of emergency due to the virus. So let's just be mindful. Let's help each other out. Be health conscious and enjoy the music. And we'll see you back here with our guest next week. Corky Traxman will be here at the booth 312 WIIT 88.9. So if you haven't heard him or you don't know who he is, tune in next week. We're going to have great music like we try to bring each and every week with Corky Traxman. And my good friend, my brother, Randall Dean. This is Randall Dean. Man, and hey, big shouts to Randall Dean too, him and his wife. Hey, we're going to end the show on that note with Randall Dean's track. You guys have a great week. Peace.
I've always known I'll get what's coming to me. Carpet
A message from wildlife biologist Jeff Corwin for American Humane.
Every year, 30,000 elephants are killed by poachers. 8 million tons of plastic is dumped into the ocean, and 18 million acres of forest disappear. And with them, many of the remarkable animals that share our planet. These animals need our help. Their very survival depends on our ability to protect them. Zoos and aquariums